Hi everyone, I'm Calvin Reedy. We're here in the studio with Hank Willis Thomas discussing his new book. So Hank, could you actually tell us a little bit about where the title All Things Being Equal comes from?
Title All Things Being Equal comes from an Ebony magazine I found in the early 80s, which was really balancing questions of equality in the 80s related to race and gender, and how we can kind of search and fight for equality in a new era. And this question, to me, is a perennial question of what is equality, how do we measure it, and how do we maintain a balance if it's ever been achieved.
So I think you've established kind of one of the most diverse practices in contemporary art, and you can move between mediums so seamlessly. So I'd love to hear about how you moved from studying photography and working in photography, and then branched out into sculpture and text work and all the other mediums you've come to use.
Sure. My mother, Deborah Willis, is a photographer, art historian, and much of her work has been about showing the ways in which African American photographers saw a different part of the Black experience than mainstream society. And she did that through curating exhibitions, writing books, making quilts, making photographs. And I think that practice has been something that I really see myself following in the footsteps of, and not wanting to be limited through one way of approaching or addressing any single issue.
So I know that pop culture and media is really important to your practice, and there's also this quote in the book that I found really interesting, and it says, "I'm much more influenced by Beyonce than I am Picasso." So I love Beyonce, I love looking at pop culture as well. Could you tell me a little bit about why that's important to you?
Sure. I think there's a way in which, we talk about fine art, we think the heroes are always visual artists, like Picasso being the ultimate. But I think of Beyonce as the ultimate transmedia artist, where it's not only visual art, it's not only performance art, it's the art of communicating across every medium, from music to writing, and this idea of perfecting something to tell a bigger story and letting many people have different avenues into it.
And I think you do that too also a lot in your practice, and I know also looking back at history is really important for you, and one image that has always struck out to me is the Cotton Bowl image. Could you walk us through why looking back into the past and sort of recontextualizing things are really important for you as well?
I was really thinking about the way in which college sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry fueled off of the free labor, largely by the descendants of slaves and sharecroppers, many of them, especially in colleges in the South, working in this backbreaking physical labor on the same fields that their ancestors worked on. And it also being a lot about merchandising and cotton, because the schools make money through the jerseys with these players' names on it, and other kind of sports paraphernalia. And this parallel I felt I wanted to address through this work.
So I think it's really evident to me that you care really deeply about a lot of social issues, and I think you've kind of provided kind of the perfect model for what being an artist and a really engaged citizen looks like. So could you elaborate a little bit on that for me?
I find it really hard to separate my creative practice from my practice as a human being. And I wouldn't say that I'm personally overtly political as a person, but I definitely am really interested in the way that politics shapes our values. So for me, a lot of the work that I do that might be seen as political is really a way to divert my attention from the things that really distract me.
Okay.
Or at least to make my distraction time productive.
Yeah.
So I figure if I'm going to be a consumer, or if I'm going to be like investing in popular culture, that I should be also critiquing it and learning from it and trying to get others to do the same. Because so projects like Question Bridge and the Truth Booth and Four Freedoms are collaborative projects where I am often, most of my collaborators are people I don't even know.
Really?
But inviting them into a conversation about something that we all have a vested interest with, in learning more about and learning from each other, and then find ways to present our findings to the public, and so I guess the personal is political for me.
Right. Hank, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed this. I encourage everyone to check out his book on Aperture, and thanks so much for watching.
Aperture.